fiance wanted a bracelet, and there's a lot of colors she likes, but I know specifically that she really likes olive green, so I'm gonna do like a forest whimsical fairy type bracelet. Let's see, this could be fun. I'm gonna use 20 gauge vintage bronze or antique bronze for this, and the standard needle nose, round nose, and cutters. This is a felt pad with a board underneath it. It's basically just 1/2 inch upholstery stuffing, spray painted black, but you can get any kind of black velvet, or I think black works better. You might like white. If you're definitely filming or recording or taking photo with a smartphone, you want to use black. Trust me, you don't want to use white. You think you do, white will make everything look like a shadow. But anyway, you'll see some of these olive green pieces really pop nicely on this dark charcoal color. So I'm taking more than I need because I'm going to arrange these, and I'm not sure exactly which pieces I'm going to use where, which pieces I'm not going to use. So it's kind of fun to have more than you need. Then you get more creative ideas, and you can maybe make 2 or 3 different pieces with different patterns. Now to get more pieces. All these bead possibilities, because as I play around, I'm not sure what I'm going to use. I do want to mix in a little bit of red with the green. Some of these already have the red and green mixed in, like Dragon Bloodstone. And these are metallic green. That's kind of cool. These are red wooden beads. Let's see what we can do. These are fun vintage bronze charms that I think I'm going to use these 2 as earring pairs. They're a little too pointy to be bracelet. I want some dangly pieces, but these a little too big, so I'm going to use these as earrings, but definitely going to use some of these as the dangle parts, and maybe I can get away with these are not quite too big. Maybe 1 or 2 of these. So that will be fun. This is a darker felt pad, and I'm just going to start arranging beads and patterns, see what I like. I'm just going to cut off little pieces of 20 gauge wire, make a loop, take about a little less than 1 centimeter, give it a bend, and then grab the very tip and bend it back, just like that. Keep repositioning your hand so you don't feel any kind of strain on your wrist, and then get your nice cute little, try to make it as perfect as possible, cute little loop, and then start stacking the beads on there. Then pull it tight against the loop. You get your last bead that you want to do and give it a good firm bend, 90 degrees. This time just cut off how much you think you're going to need for the loop. If you cut off too much, you'll have to do it again. If you leave it too long, you might have to undo it and cut more. Either way, you'll get better and better at it as you practice. And you want this loop to be really tight, again, right in there. No chance for anything to come undone. And you don't want any little sharp ends sticking out where somebody could get scratched. And hold these 2 and try to make them line up just right. And that's our first section. We're going to make a bunch of little sections like this. You can make a bunch that are the same, but I'm going to make them whimsically different because that's fun. They're going to have the same color patterns, but each one's going to be a little different. And then I'll decide how I'm going to arrange them. I'm also not going to make them longer than this because I want the bracelet to be round. And if you have really long pieces, it's going to have more sharp angles even on the wrist. It's, you know, it's not going to lay as flat. So this will be the longest. Most of the pieces will be shorter than this. These are still coming up too long for me, so I think I'm going to do a bunch with just a single bead or maybe 2 or 3 beads. More bead options. Periodically test for length. I want a jump ring or 2 in the middle so these don't get jangled and tight or jammed up, so they can kind of move around more freely. So how much length do I have right here? Standard bracelet, the average woman is 7 inches around their wrist. You want to make it 5 inches for the smaller woman and then add a bunch of jump rings to make it adjustable. If you're going to use a lobster clasp like I am, I like lobster clasps the best. They're the most sturdy, easier to open. I feel like you can use any other kind of clasp. There's toggle clasps, there's magnetic clasps. So this is already a little over 6 inches long if I space these right, imagining the jump rings being in between. So I'm probably going to get rid of one of these links. I wanted to make a bunch more, and it would be a lot of fun, but that's where you just make more bracelets. Okay, I'm happy with this, except I like the cubes. I like the look of it, but this green is a little bit too bright. I want to darken it a little bit. Since it's wood, I can draw on it, but I don't want it to look like a drawing. I want it to look a little bit natural. I'm going to start with a regular red Sharpie. I'm going to test it on a few of these and see if it comes out how I like. So I'm going to do like a pattern like that, and then quickly, before it dries, give it a rub. I wasn't quick enough. You want to try to get it that, and then rub it right away to try to smear it a little bit so it looks like it's a little bit blended in. I actually don't mind that. I think that looks really cool, to tell you the truth. It's just the right amount of red. It comes out dark like I wanted it to. And I like that. That's like a cool pattern going on there. So I'm going to do it right on the links.
Shake up your mind and shake up your body. You can't fake a smile, you can try for a while. If you don't want to learn, you'll soon crash and burn. You can't make it right if you don't put
Make each one a little different. Now it's starting to smear better because I already have some on my finger. So I'm just going to do tiny little bits and kind of experiment, trial and error there. That's cool. Let's see how that blends in with the whole. Yeah, I like that. It's a little bit, I actually thought it would be darker. I want it a little darker, so I'm gonna go real crazy here. Take a brown Sharpie and actually give it a little, not a highlight, but like a dark end, dark light on one side. There you go, I'm starting to like that now. Just give it a little something. Make it look like it's some kind of pattern. It's starting to look even less like wood, more like some kind of stone. That is fun. Now it's literally art. You're not just an artisan, you are an artist. Artisan is like someone who can follow steps to craft something, but they wouldn't be called like a fine artist who's more avant-garde and will, really create something from scratch. An artisan is more someone who takes preformed pieces and puts them together in a creative way. I'm even gonna go add some black to it. You don't want to overdo it. You want to be very careful. You can always add more, but if you add too much, you can't really go backwards. You have to start over with a new bead. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot. That was really cool. You'd think I covered up most of the green, but you can still see a lot of the green in there. We'll just link these together with jump rings. You can find these containers of assorted sizes and colors of jump rings on Amazon. I'll try to put the link in the comments. Little jump rings for the in-between links. Slightly bigger jump rings to make the chain at the end where you can adjust the lobster clasp to different size, whatever size wrist you are. Normally I'd go with the smaller lobster clasp, but I like this big chunky one because again, it's easier to open and close. So we're gonna go with that. Remember to always open your jump rings sideways like a door so that they close back up into a perfect circle. If you try to pull them apart like this, they will warp and you'll never get them back together the right way. So always sideways this, and now it's just fun linking these cuties together. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Like I said, you can put several jump rings in the middle. I think one is enough, just so they have like an adequate, they can move around quite a bit. Make sure your jump ring is fully closed and as perfectly put back together as possible. So you won't have these little loops slipping out on somebody's wrist and the whole thing falling apart. I like to put a couple on the end before I get to the lobster clasp. So sometimes it's hard to grab the lobster clasp if it's sticking right to the edge of a bead stack. 2 should be plenty. You can do more, but I don't want to make the chain too long on this side in case somebody with a very dainty wrist decides to wear this. Like I said, a 5-inch or even a 4-inch wrist for women with much skinnier wrists I think is pretty common. So here I'm just going to put the assortment of jump rings on the other side, the adjustable side. How many? About 2 inches worth. You can do 3 inches worth. Some people have an 8-inch wrist or a 9-inch wrist. And that's just about 7.5, perfect. Now we can add the fun dangly parts, and you can add them anywhere you want because bracelets kind of move all around, and women just like things that dangle. Makes them feel like pretty. Have little things dancing around their wrists. Makes them feel whimsical. I'm gonna say these guys originally I thought were kind of cute. I'm thinking they're way too big, and yeah, they would be really cute if they were half that size. After you add a couple jump rings, they're gonna hang really low, like 2 whole inches. So I'm going back to these. These are a little more simple. I wish they had a little fancier things going on, but they're gonna hang the right amount of space. And I think probably 3 of them is gonna be about right. 2 of the little jump rings to connect each one should be good. My fingers are so tough I can close jump rings with just my fingers, but you can use 1 pair of pliers, 2 pairs of pliers. Just make sure you close that jump ring right in the center. And there's 1. Voila! When closed, it'll probably be somewhere about like that. Just examine it one more time. Ask yourself, do I want to put 1 more dangle? Maybe. Don't limit yourself. You can put multiple ones. You can put 6, 7, 8, 9 little dangly pieces. You can have long ones with short ones in between. Be as creative as you like, and whatever you think you would enjoy or another person would enjoy wearing, go for it. I'm still going to add a few more jump rings just because some people like their bracelet loose, and I just remembered some people like it to slide up and down their arm. That would be uncomfortable for me, but I'm not a bracelet wearer in general, or definitely not a whimsical bracelet wearer, so I'm not going to judge what they enjoy. I think I have 12 jump rings on here, and I think they are 7mm jump rings. And these little ones are either 4 or 5mm. I think they're 5mm. If they clasp it way up here and this just is hanging off, that's another dangly part. So women love that. They love all the dangly stuff. All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to put 5. Yeah, I like that a little better. Now the spacing looks a little less weird. Hi.
Hi.
This is for you.
Oh. I think that's a 2-person job. It's a 2-hand job. But I might be able to do it. And who is thinking of me?
Someone was thinking of you.
Yeah, but who was it? I survived it. I was kind of chasing it. Ah! Ta-da! Who did it?
Hmm?
Who did it?
Me?
You did it.
Yeah.